Hello, 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 everybody. Is everything working all right? Welcome to the stream. Hello. How is everybody today? It's a lovely Wednesday. Alright, so it is Steam Next Fest this week, and we have decided to do a little bit of gaming today of our demo, since Steam Next Fest is all about showcasing demos for upcoming games and such. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll just go ahead with the game. We'll start with a blank file, and I'll give you guys a fun little playthrough. So let me know how the audio is, by the way, once they start talking in a few seconds. Feel free to ask questions about the game and all that kind of fun dev stream type of stuff. Keep in mind, disclaimer, this demo is in alpha, and there's still some stuff we're going to be definitely working on fixing. All right. And this is an alien world of giant flowers, butterfly folk, and a special blue nectar called Nectra, which allows objects and creatures to float in zero gravity. So here we are, the world of Floodica. This was definitely inspired by world designs of movies like Avatar and other stuff, like the fact that they're butterfly people, so I wanted to have a bunch of giant flowers and almost like mixing alien design with fairy designs, as if they're like big fairy people. That kind of thing. So it's like a fairy alien world in a sense. The game audio's a bit quiet. Okay, let me look at that. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if that's better. As for Mariposa's design herself, she's actually inspired by just me wanting to make a character that would be like a space exploration girl that would go from planet to planet and take care of animals. I don't remember how I got to the idea of her being like a butterfly person, but I remember she used to be human at first. Her first design was like a human girl that went in like a road trip space van across the universe to take care of animals with her brother. Her brother is still in the story, but his role is a bit different now because he's like part of the military and he's like her half brother. Because I wanted the fact that she is half Flutterkin to be kind of unique to her, and her brother is fully human. Because he's the son from the father's different previous marriage. So yes, here we have some NPCs. This was pretty fun to work on. I thought that since the uniform of the rescue center was basically these overalls, that it would be a bit, it would make it a bit easier to have a bunch of NPCs because they would all have the same like mesh, but like sculpted differently depending on if they're male or female. And then I made like, you know, different hairs, and we just use like color modification to modify the colors on the hairs so that we have different hairstyles, different colors, and then different wing colors, all that kind of stuff. We reused some of the animations on Aunt Dawn for some of these people too, so that they have different poses. And yeah, like the older woman, she has like longer ears, because kind of part of the lore is that the longer these species live, the longer their ears get. For some reason, I don't know. And then like we have the younger woman here who has different facial features. And the male character. And there's like an older male character here where he has wrinkles. And his ears are a bit longer, but though. Yeah. And she's a very patriotic looking girl. Her red and blue and a bit of white. Not that much white, but this girl's fun because she's just walking around. So Flutterkins can be like pretty much any color that is like part of that isn't a neutral color, basically. Neutral colors are more what Palamots are colored. Palamots are like the moth variations of Flutterkins. So Flutterkins are like colorful butterflies, and then the Palamots are the moth people that are that developed on the moon of Flutica, and they have neutral coloring. So we'll get to see more of them soon. So let's go ahead and talk to Kika. Kika is a little girl character. She doesn't have her wings yet because she hasn't gone through metamorphosis. She actually is the neighbor's kid. She lives on a farm that's next to the ranch.
What's groovin', Kika?
Hi, Mari. Do you want to play together?
Sorry, I'm working right now. I'll play later, okay?
You have to. I'm gonna grow up and be a grumpy teenager one day, and you're gonna regret not playing with me when you could.
Is that so?
Uh-huh.
How's your dad's harvest going? I'm looking forward to having Lenore nectar on my pancakes again.
Me too. Dad's mad at one of the harvest machines, though. It broke in the storm last week, and won't work no matter what he does.
Does he need some new parts?
Yeah, but someone called and said they're gonna come late. He said there was a space road disturbance in the way. I think some of his workers got stuck in traffic because of it, too.
That's strange. I think I heard something about that earlier when I was driving down to the planet today. Wonder what's going on. What's this sudden talk about growing up, anyway?
Dad says I'll have my metamorphosis soon, and I need to start thinking about my future and stuff.
Oh, stars. That must be pretty exciting, huh?
I guess, but I don't know if I want to have wings yet. Do you think it'll hurt getting them? What if they come out all crumpled, or have weird colors?
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll have beautiful wings, just like your family. Besides, it won't hurt. You'll be sleeping in your cocoon the whole time.
How do you know? You never got yours.
Well, I've read a lot about it. I have some books in my van about it if you want me to get them for you.
Oh, okay.
Besides, I could still get my wings anytime, you know.
Are you sure? I heard that sometimes happy Flutterkins never get them.
I'll go get the books.
So as for these two, we'll save those for later. So some of the questions, what kind of equipment and apps do you work with when designing digital illustrations and graphic designs? I'm somewhat of a digital artist myself. Well, I usually use the app Procreate on my iPad to do a lot of the character designs in 2D. I'll draw in there, like the base of the character, and then I'll like put clothes on her or him and figure out like what shape language, what colors they use. And from there, I take that design and then I go to little kitty. I go to Blender on my computer, and there I use my tablet to sculpt digital clay, basically, to the shapes I want it to be. And from there, I take the high fidelity sculpt and make sure that it like kind of trace over it in a way, like 3D tracing. It's a little hard to explain without visualization, but I trace over the high fidelity sculpt in Blender to make it lower poly count. And from there, I texture it by painting on it in a 3D painting program. So you see all her textures here were kind of hand painted on. Like I airbrushed around her face and like painted in those wrinkles on her shirt, all that kind of stuff. The same way you would render and paint a 2D character. And from there I rig it up and I animate it and it's put into the engine. This question is pretty good. Did you always know Mariposa and the Galaxy One was going to be a game, or did you still consider telling the story in a different form or media? I actually kind of always wanted it to be a game. There was a time when it was still just like little ideas roaming around in my head about a space animal vet girl and the giant like eldritch almost unfathomable space star creature that she adventures with, who she at first thinks is just some kind of giant animal, but then realizes is like a being from another galaxy. And that evolved into Mariposa and the Galaxy Man. Because at first it was basically just like girl adventures with giant space wolf. But then I thought it would be cool if like he was like sentient and had like more of a personality. And maybe there could be like a romance element. So I decided to have him like actually be more of a human form. But he has like a space wolf form. But like he's mostly human most of the time. So I thought that'd be really cool as almost like a Doctor Who adventure type of thing. Where instead of the Doctor being the main character, you're actually kind of in the shoes of the quote-unquote normal girl who discovers this kind of weird guy that is from a completely different like alien place that he kind of gets used to this galaxy that she's from, and there's like all kinds of fun interactions with each other as they learn more about each other and where they come from and have fun exploring the universe together in a cool road trip. And he's of course like magical and mysterious, and she is more grounded and down to earth, and they are able to like complement each other in that way, which is fun. But as for the actual original question of did I always want it to be a game? So like I said, at first it was just kind of those ideas going in my head of what the story is. But I always wanted it to be a game in the way that when those ideas were more fully coming into fruition was when I had a character design assignment in college where I was taking an anatomy class, and part of the anatomy one of the homework assignments was to design a character like for a children's cartoon type of thing, or some kind of like mascot for a children's entertainment franchise. So I took previous kind of designs I'd done of Mariposa, one of which was how her used to be human, and then one of which was like a more realistic kind of design of her as an alien, where she had like more realistic proportions. It was very ugly, and back when my art was not nearly as developed as it is now, and oh man, it was pretty bad. So for this assignment, I took a look at my old art of her, and then I decided to revamp her into like a chibi style, which made her alien features look a lot more cute and less weird. And from there, I had an assignment in my 3D modeling class of character art to create a character of my own. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll go ahead and use this turnaround sheet of a chibi character I've already made for my character anatomy class, and I'll just use that for my character modeling class. So I took the Mariposa chibi design, I made a 3D model out of it, and that's kind of when I was like, this should be a game. I'll just have this story be a game. Because now I'm in game art school doing game art, so it makes sense if I use what I'm learning to make a game. And from there, I contacted my friend, Caius Nelson, who works in Unreal Engine, and we decided to take this character and kind of make it like a little platforming game around her. And we were like putting ideas back and forth of like gameplay and stuff, and it was really cool. And we still have like some of the first builds that were made, and they were very rough. But I ended up like remaking her model two other times, because I had decided later on, after getting a bunch of feedback and like doing a poll and stuff, that her original models weren't cutting it. So then I was able to do this final model with the under the mentorship guidance of Katia Burkina, who is an artist at Riot Games. She does a lot of character modeling there, and she was able to help me figure out Mariposa current model a bit more. She helped me with the textures, telling me like, oh, you should fix this part here, and she gave me a lot of really good guidance. And from there, yeah, now we have her original model, and now we have this game much more fully fleshed out. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but this model we're still extremely this demo we're still extremely proud of. I'm gonna go ahead and clock in up here at the John Rescue Center. This is the first building model I've ever made that's like textured like this. I think, yeah, this is the first. Trying to think back, like, I think this actually might be the first building model I've ever made and then fully textured. I'm pretty sure. Thankfully, modeling buildings isn't nearly as complicated as modeling characters, so yeah. Alright, let's check in.
Marty, are you there?
Hey, Bonnie. What's shaking?
First off, in response to that hollow you sent me last night, I must say that it did give me a little bit of a chuckle. I was unaware that shrubbery could jump like that.
I know, right? I didn't even try to scare him.
Anyway, the second thing I wanted to speak to you about was regarding my schooling. I've decided to return to Floros for a master's degree. There's much to learn, and I really feel like I'm on the verge of something here with my research.
Oh, wow. That's stellar, Bonnie. So you're continuing with archaeology?
Yes, I would like to inform you about my current discovery, but I'm afraid the top of this quiet seems
Hello, Roadkill Rose.
I'd rather tell you in person next time we meet.
Welcome, welcome.
Has to do with the incident a few years ago.
Oh, I see. I understand. It's all right.
I wanted to ask if you're thinking about going back as well. You want to become a veterinarian, correct?
I don't know. I think that maybe I'll stick around at Aunt Dawn's for a while.
Why is that? You seem excited to continue your education when you graduated.
I barely graduated. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm cut out for that more academic, technical medical stuff. I'm feeling lost when it comes to what I want right now.
I understand. If you ever need a study partner, just let me know. I can prepare flashcards just like before midterms.
The flashcards did help. Thanks again for that.
Consider my study assistance a repayment for your kindness in helping my dear Daisy with her leg.
I'm never one to refuse a good trade.
Oh, dear me. Avery's home on the hook again. Please excuse me if you hear anything excessively rude in the background. I think I'm going to call you back.
All good. See ya.
Goodbye.
All right. Let's go to the Green Dome. Actually, maybe let's check in with Heather first. Well, no, since I have a few questions to answer, I'll just go in here and do this activity while I'm answering. This is probably my favorite place to do environment art for. All these, I mean, some of these models are from the asset store, but most of them are, and most textures are mine, which was really, really fun to work on. Because I had so many, I love Filmoria, because I just love giant coniferous forest. Is it coniferous forest? I forget how that's pronounced. And I am looking forward to doing a lot more environment art for once we actually like get to the planet proper and not just a dome. Let's see. In general, what would you say has been your biggest work-related challenge up to now? Oh, pretty much like the whole process of actually getting to a point where my work is at a professional level in terms of my drawing and modeling has been a huge like thing for like the past 10 years of my life. Like ever since I started like going on DeviantArt, like making my DeviantArt account when I was like a young teenager and wanting to like be a professional artist, it's been a whole journey of just wanting to get to that level. And there were a lot of times where I was so frustrated with myself that my art wasn't at a place where it needed to be in order to get a job. That's been something I've felt for a long time and still feel, because I just haven't been able to get a job in the industry quite yet. And part of that is that maybe I'm just not applying to enough jobs, because there aren't a lot of jobs that I'm qualified for in the game industry because my art style is so specific. Hand-painted art is like mostly used at like Riot Games and Blizzard, and you know, it's difficult, especially if like you don't want to work at a specific company that you technically would qualify for, etc. It's just a long journey of trying to get to that point where you're good enough. And it's not even always about being good enough, it's also about having work that fits what they're looking for. Because it's completely fair if they don't want to hire you if your work just isn't something they need. And a lot of games use realistic types of art styles. So that's something that I personally think that I need to work on too, is learning how to fit into different styles to get a job. Game industry is tough to get into. I'll just say that. Understandably so. There's a lot of people that want to get into it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm making this game, is because I'm able to do exactly the kind of art that I want to do, and hopefully be able to make a living out of it without having to rely on being hired at a company that I don't know what type of art I'll have to do and if I'll be qualified to even do it, you know? So that was the hope of this game for me, is that I'll be able to get enough funding and get enough like hype in order to be able to fund it. Currently, we're still in the process of looking for funding, and I'll let you guys know once I have any news that I'm allowed to share.
Something wrong?
I'm in the Green Dome. Some weird bird things just burrowed in and started attacking the sheep. I got them confined before they hurt any.
What? Do you have any idea what they are?
No idea. Do you want to come down and check it out?
I'll be right over. Can you check on the other habitats for me? Start with the ice dome.
Sure thing. I'll send some pictures to Bonnie and see if she can identify them.
Besides working on Mariposa, what other projects do you have in the works? I have to admit, Spectral Lakes and Dragon Queen are on a bit of a pause because I just don't have, like, they aren't earning me much of it's like I'm at the point where, you know, I'm out of college and I need to be able to try to earn enough to pay back my student loans. So I've been really trying when it comes to like getting a game industry job and or getting Mariposa to work out. So I'm currently since the Mariposa Kickstarter didn't work out, I just wasn't able to get like I've kind of didn't get enough advertising, and my advertising I didn't have like a good enough plan in order to get eyes on the project. So right now my current plan is I'm working on a small visual novel set in the Mariposa universe, starring a young version of Kitty Roo, whose adult version will be in the Mariposa game proper. And the visual novel will be like the backstory of Kitty Roo, like how she met Zindello, why she wanted to become a dancer and a singer, and kind of the state of how things are on her planet and why she's passionate about what she does in terms of helping kids when she's an adult. So it's a little mini story, visual novel / adventure game type of thing. You can find a lot more information on my Instagram, on my Twitter page, link in my YouTube, or you can go to my website, inkroseink.com. Yeah, that's been something. Oops. I thought it'd be fun to have like a whole tree branch platforming section here, just for people that wanted to go find like little extras up in the trees. Oh wait, I need to pet the sheep more. Yes. Excuse me. So yeah, the visual novel is the next step. The reason we're working on that is because it's a simpler, smaller project that the assets I'm working on for it can be reused in Mariposa, and it'll be a small project that we can release to sell, and from there that can help fund the rest of the game, the game proper. So Mariposa as a project is currently on pause development-wise. There's not much we can do right now until we get proper funding. But since the Kitty Roo visual novel is going to be nice and simple, and I can work on it with a very, very small team, without like needing like a huge bunch of funding, that's what we're currently putting all my free time into.
Hey Heather, what style are you giving him today? whims of my creative soul are hard to predict, Mariposa. So how many of you actually finished? The whims of my creative soul are hard to put a number on, Mariposa.
Fun fact. Heather is voiced by my little sister. We had been looking for a voice actress to voice Heather. However, like, when it came to some of the auditions that we got in, we decided that some of them would be better for different characters because they were able to fit them better. And when it came to Heather, I realized that the best rendition I'd heard of her was my sister's rendition. So we ended up just being like, hey, do you want to do Mariposa? Do you want to do Heather? And she was like, yeah. And it was just kind of fun, me being Mariposa and then my sister being Heather. So they kind of have a little bit of a slightly antagonistic but still friendship. That is kind of funny to me. Like her being a sister. Even though she's not like actually her sister. And then other family members also voiced in this game. My dad voices Mariposa's dad. Which makes sense not only because he's my dad, but also because my dad used to do voice acting professionally when we lived in California. So he was the one that really like made me want to do voice acting, and he gave me a lot of tips and pointers and growing up. So it's just a nice little fun fact.
Have you scrubbed the flatte yet? Pancake looked a bit less shiny than usual. Oh, right, I wanted to ask you about that. Did you float some of them in for a checkup this morning? No? Why? Well, I meant to take care of them all this morning, but a handful of them are missing. I wasn't sure if you were taking care of them, so I got to work on the sheet first. That's weird. I'll take a look around and see if there are any missing from the Pride. I hope none of them got hurt. Hope I said it. Let me know when you find it. You've been to Thelmuria, right?
There's some issues with the head tracking. I know some people have already noticed that, because it's kind of obvious in some of these places, but yeah, that's something we definitely we're gonna fix once we're able to. Yeah, her head will just like bug out in some places.
If only such acceptance and unshackled creativity could be found here on Fletica. Watching the animals here always helps me get inspired when I'm writing my music. Maybe that could work for you. I don't know, they're lovely, but these creatures don't give off the kind of creative aura my work yearns for. Maybe you can try tapping into a new aura then. Might be just what you need. I suppose it can't hurt to try. This shrubber gives off the vibe of being trapped upon this earthly plane, seeking retribution upon its fellows in a never-ending quest to unlock the true depth of its capability of carnage. Methinks your vibe is rubbing off on the sheep. A good influence, I think. How's your poetry coming along? Making progress? Yes and no.
Yeah, see, like the head tracking is a little off there. But that's something, again, we're gonna definitely be fixing. As well as a lot of these animations, we're gonna be changing up the animation systems in order to have them be, like, a bit better. Because they're a little stiff right now.
You're sure it's yes. Well, maybe I can do what you have. Give you some feedback? I don't know. I'm not quite in the mental space for critique at the moment. Why not? I won't bite. I distinctly remember you biting Bradley to the point of drawing blood last month. Hey! He grabbed me from behind by my shoulder, and I thought it was a calipac about to chow down on my flesh. And it wasn't out of line for me to think so, because last time it was a calipac, and it was only through me giving it a good hard bite that it didn't take my arm off. Besides, Bradley's already forgiven me, and I did not mean bite literally in regards to your work. I'll share my poetry some other time.
So, someone... Let's see, just a second. Let me scroll up in the chat. I got questions asking, I hope Spectral Lakes is coming along nicely and I'm excited for a sequel. I hope Spectral Lakes is coming along nicely, and I'm excited for a sequel. I'm so glad that people still, like, are excited and care about Spectral Lakes. To be honest, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I should work on Spectral Lakes anymore. I mean, I still want to do it for sure, but, like, it's been kind of like, again, having to find something that is able to help me, like, earn a living on what I do, and Spectral Lakes is more of a passion project because it doesn't really, like, earn me much. So the sequel is literally half written, but I've been in writer's block on this particular chapter for so long for some reason. Like, it's a specific, like, flashback chapter, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how to finish this. I don't know how to do this. So it's been just kind of in limbo there. There's also the fact that originally I wanted the game to be like a visual novel. I wanted the story to be in a visual novel format. And now that I'm actually able to, like, create games with my friends and family, I'm almost like wanting to go back at some point and make Spectral Lakes into a like adventure game, like a visual novel adventure game, similar to what we're doing with Kitty Roo. So it's kind of in limbo. Dragon Queen is in limbo, literally, just like I said before, just because I'm trying to find a project that can actually help me, like, pay back my student loans. That's pretty much it. That's why they're in limbo, because they kind of have to be, which is really unfortunate, because I do quite love those properties. But rest assured, they will not be abandoned. Even if it takes years, I will work on those stories. I also got a question. I wonder if you're looking for any volunteers to help you with your game. I'll be honest, I don't want to ask for volunteer help. I don't think it's fair or, like, right to have volunteer work for a game that will be sold for money. I don't want to have people working for me for unpaid as long as I can. Like, sometimes that kind of has to be the case with family and stuff, but, like, and if I just don't have any money to give, but, like, I really want to try my best to pay everyone that works on this. And I also don't, there's also the double-edged thing of where I also don't want to necessarily have people working on my project who I don't really know much. Obviously, I need to hire people in the future when it comes to certain things, different funding, but I also just want to be like, I don't know you very well, so I don't know if I don't know if I want to, like, yeah. So I'm not really, I'm not interested in volunteer work, because I just don't want to, like, have unpaid work on the game if I can help it. And there's also this question, how decent a living are you making as an artist programmer? Let's just say it's not quite a living. Though I am getting some freelance contract work, which is really nice, and I'm really grateful and thankful to the people who have been hiring me for it. Let's see. Another random question, what do you think of anime? I like anime that I like. Like, anime, that's kind of like saying, do you like Western animation? Yes, but it just heavily depends on the show or movie. There are some anime that I quite like, and some that I really, really don't, so, you know. Let's see. Looking at some other questions. Hoping you find the time to finish the second book. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Hopefully, again, depending on how things go, hopefully I will be able to have some time to really sit down and work on Spectral Lakes again. I have so many ideas with what I want to do with it. the story going forward. I've planned out kind of like the arc of how the mystery goes, and working on it is fun. If only money could appear from thin air. Yes, if only. Oh, I appreciate all the Dragon Queen and Spectral Lakes fans. Thank you. I wish you could still upload chapters of your books because they're so good. Thank you. Literally, again, part of the reason I haven't been uploading any more chapters is because of the time I have to put into other stuff right now and work and all that. But oh, oops. Also, the fact that I don't use Adobe anymore is literally one of the reasons why I haven't been making as many videos, because the only editing software I know how to use is Premiere Pro. But since I stopped my Adobe subscription because of how extremely costly it was, I haven't really been having the motivation to learn a whole new editing program, even if it's free. Because I already have like a bunch of other programs I need to learn. So that's literally the reason why I haven't been making videos, is because I don't have Adobe anymore because of how expensive it is. Hopefully I'll be able to like actually get up the time and motivation to learn another editing program. Because I really did like Premiere Pro, I just hate Adobe as a company. Felisa! Hello! Welcome, welcome. Oh, and a hint on finding the kitties. They do make a meow sound when you're near them. Hello. Oh, you and Wesley are watching. How nice. Hello. Ah! Wait, did I put... Okay, good. I put the cat in there. Slap the cow. Okay. Ready? Ah! Oh, how unexpected. I cannot believe that happened. What is the game's overall goal? Let's see. Do you mean goal like story goal, or goal of gameplay, or like the sales goal, or like what kind of goal exactly? Because that could be a question I could answer in all kinds of ways. Random question: if Princess Ailman was a Pokemon trainer, what would her Pokemon be, and why? Let's see. She would probably be either a dragon fairy type trainer or a dragon water type trainer. Probably dragon fairy? I'd have to think on that. I've been reworking the magic system for the reboot. Actually, speaking of, I said I didn't work on Dragon Queen much recently, but I actually did start writing a little like short story to help get the juices flowing, and I also like started deep diving into the magic system and like reworking it, and like still keeping the same like general concepts of it, but like making it more of a hard magic system instead of a soft one. So adding more like rules and understandable ways it works, because Brandon Sanderson's fantasy works and his magic systems are really interesting to me, so I wanted to like work more on the magic system to make it more interesting and fun, instead of just like elemental, just like generic elemental magic like is used in like D&D and such, which is not a bad thing because I love elemental magic so much, and it's still going to be like elemental magic, but like kind of in a different sense, which I'm really excited to talk about. Oh, I really think I did need to change Dragon Queen, because Dragon Queen was a story I wrote when I was like a freshman in high school, and it's just, I can't stand, I don't want to continue off of what I had left. I had already made. I think I'm so proud I was able to write it, but there's so much. It could be so much better and so much more interesting, and it's something that I want to be like. It's a very personal story to me. It has a lot of like, because Aelwyn is a very obvious self-insert character. I'm gonna be real, and a lot of the. Yeah, it's a very personal story, and it's something that I literally might just need more life experience to be able to write properly. Because it's a story about growing up, and about becoming a woman, and, you know, I'm still kind of young, right? I mean, 23, you know? I still have some life to go, so that's the kind of thing where I actually might need to put a pause on it and understand myself as a person more and be able to write more of a story about becoming a woman, coming into womanhood. That kind of fun fantasy allegorical stuff. Woo! Just hearing about you talking about your project has started to break down a month-long art block. Thank you for that. I'm gonna draw what I watch now. Well, please! Thank you. I hope so. I know, like, sometimes just hearing other artists talk about their process is very inspiring for me, so yeah, I hope that does help. Let me talk to Bradley, and then I shall answer some more questions.
You groovy?
Always and forever, Sunflower Girl.
As in groovy or super groovy?
I don't have fallen on the job, sweetheart.
Just checking.
Working with Jay Preston, who is the voice actor for Bradley, was really fun. He really like nailed the character a lot. What's funny about Bradley is that I had kind of two ideas for where I wanted his voice to go. One idea was that he would be like have like a western southern cowboy type of accent, and the other idea was a Boston accent. So when I did the audition for him, I listed in the description for him that I was looking for either a Southern or a Boston accent, whichever you are comfortable with. And almost all of the auditions I got back all did the Western cowboy type of accent, and they did a great job. But then Jay Preston, when he submitted his audition, he did takes both with a Western accent and with a Boston accent. And he said in his audition that he actually came from Boston. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Boston, this accent fits him so well. And he was the only one that did the accent, and it was just perfect. So that's just a fun little, like, behind the scenes. Yeah, he's probably the one that like just got it right to a T right from the start. Very fun to work with.
Have you given a listen to the single Nova Quince just released?
Oh, I'm not an EDM type of fella.
Really? Could have sworn I heard you talking to Aunt Dawn about him yesterday.
You must have misheard me. I was probably chatting about the Novak ice. New type of ice for the ice storm. Supposed to be longer lasting and puts nutrients in the waters for the glacier as it melts.
Oh, that's cool.
Thing is, you see, Dawn gave me the order slips for the first batch, and due to the complicated machinations of my body-soul dynamic, while my soul had ascended temporarily to a higher plane, my body had lost track of itself. The order papers extricated themselves from my fingers and were buried among the vegetation of the rescue center.
You didn't just ask Aunt Dawn to print them out again?
I happen to be on thin ice with your aunt at the moment. She doesn't normally trust me to do the supply orders.
Can't imagine why.
Listen, if you happen to see them lying around, just shoot me a line. Groovy?
Groovy. Are you and Heather talking again?
Oh, that butterfly. She's a butterfree soul, Sunflower. She don't want to be tied down to a guy like me.
What makes you think that?
Oh, our spirits don't share the same frequency. We're two different light waves from different stars, headed at light speed to different destinations.
Frankly, Bradley, you two are a lot more alike than you think. You should talk to.
She badmouthed my poetry, man.
Ah. How exactly did you get assigned community service? Was it sniffing pollen or what?
I ain't legally required to tell you nothing.
But you were legally required to tell Aunt Dawn, right? So if I badger her enough, I'll get to hear it from her lips instead of yours. And she doesn't sugarcoat things.
Well, it'd be hard to sugarcoat anyway. Why do you want to know so bad?
So I don't have to keep my eye on you all the time.
Like you wouldn't be watching me regardless.
So what then? Was it tax evasion? Forgery? Arson?
Whoa, no. It ain't anything like that. Alright, it was sniffing Paul. Don't taint the good vibes of the convo, man.
Whoop. I gotta find the missing slips, but I already know where they are. Well, in the final game, we're probably gonna have more of a guidance on where to go for missing items and such. We're planning on adding like a map, and then having like little circles on the map of where in the general area of where the item is. So yeah. All right, back to questions. Let's see.
Way too messy to be Heather's.
Where do we donate? Oh, oh wait, where did I put it? Oops, I think the link is not in the description. Just a moment. Do-do-do-do-do. Let me look at one of my other streams. I think the link should be there. Aha! There's the link. If you're interested in donating to support the stream, or well, the game and me making stuff, you can donate at streamlabs.com/incros. Let me see if I can put it in the description. Yes I can. Cute. I don't think the Streamlabs alerts are enabled though, so sorry about that. They won't show up on stream, but I will see them, and I will be very thankful if that's something you would like to do. I appreciate. Ah. Yes, I am going to include a map in the final game, at least for like the hub areas. Oops, didn't catch it. It's too high. Got one, and now the last one. Oops. There's the last one. Let's go ahead and get Kika's book from the van. now we've got the book. The van is still one of my favorite things I've made because it took so much work. It's the first time I've ever done like environment art like this. And yeah, it was a huge challenge. Took quite a while, but now I'm faster with environment art, thank goodness. I mean, just like designing it was so difficult because I've never designed like van vehicles and rooms really before, so I had to like really kind of crash course myself on figuring out how to do this. I was like looking at the layouts of a bunch of RVs and vans and stuff. Some of these like respawn when you load back into the world.
Hey Kika, here's the book I was talking about.
Oh, thanks.
It's pretty good. I hope it helps.
I'm sorry if I made you sad with what I said. I hope you get your wings someday, Mari.
Oh, you shouldn't worry about me. Focus on good thoughts for when your own wings come.
I will.
All of the missing Flatay. It looks like some of them got hurt. Oh dear, what happened to them? I'm not sure. Most of them look pretty scared though. It's like they were hiding. Hiding? From what? Maybe those weird birds I've been running into. They seem to be causing a real fuss. We'll need to make sure we clear them out. Anyway, the Flatay are all back safe and sound. You can get on scrubbing them once you're done with the sheep. Groovy. Hey Heather, what style are you... So, how are things going with you and Bradley? Ugh, please, that man isn't fit to be in my cosmic orbit, let alone being close enough to mingle with my aura. Don't be like that. You two have a lot in common.
This is a side quest.
Such as, you know, you're both linguistic, verbose, spiritually aware. Please, his mastery of language is like that of a drowning Flatay spitting up garbled water. Whoa there. Hold off on the animal dying metaphors, please. He's not that awful. Besides, he probably thinks you're being too harsh on his poetry. Well, what did he expect after I tried so hard to teach him? Poetry is the dialect of the soul, Mari. The ability to interpret the universe through a lens that can be focused onto mere paper. Words have more power than you know, but then he just threw around empty prose without a care in the world. It was so half-hearted, as if the whole thing was just a joke to him. Oh, Heather. I'm sorry. I know that I can take my work a bit too seriously at times. I'm not unaware of that, but I was earnestly trying to share something special. He probably didn't mean to disrespect it. Maybe he just didn't know how to share how he felt and wanted to lighten the mood, but went about it wrong. I suppose you may be right. And remember, Heather, you're a lot more than just your poetry. Even if Bradley took it lightly, it doesn't mean that he takes you lightly, you know? You should talk with him, let him know how you feel, and find out his true intentions. I'll think about it, Maddie. Thank you. If you ever need to talk, let me know. Do yourself a favor, Maddie. Never fall in love. I get more than my fill of drama from the two of you, so I think I'm good.
Oh, sure, let me check. Just a sec. Yes, Mariposa is half human and half Flutterkin, which is the butterfly people. So she, unlike most Flutterkins, get their wings at like around 8 to 11 years old. But Mariposa never went through metamorphosis, and it's probably because she's half human. However, there's still a chance that she could still go through it because there are half-human Flutterkins who go through metamorphosis, and some who don't. So she's kind of in this limbo of not knowing when or if it will even happen. So that's kind of one of the things that's really hard for her, is that she just doesn't know if it'll happen. Were you inspired by the Barbie movie Fairytopia? Because the main character didn't have wings, but by the end of the story, she did get them. Okay, so I did watch Fairytopia one time when I was a kid, but when it came to concepting Mariposa, I didn't think about it at first. But the only thing I actually thought about was the fact that there was already a Barbie character named Mariposa, except when I tried to like have other butterfly related names for her, nothing really worked for me except Mariposa. So I was just like, you know what, they'll share a name, that's fine. It's just the Spanish word for butterfly, so it's not like you can trademark that. So like Barbie would like come after me for that anyway. It's just a Spanish word. But then when it came to Fairytopia, of the character not having wings and then getting them at the end, no, that is, I just didn't even think about that one. The reason why I decided she didn't have wings is because, number one, that was like the first concept, was that she didn't have wings. And when I thought about it more, I was like, if this is going to be a platforming game, if she had wings, that would just make it too easy and not really a platformer. So that was mostly the idea behind it, is that she's like a part butterfly girl, but she doesn't have wings yet because that would mess up with platforming mechanics. As to if she will or will not get them in the game, like at the end or something, or partway through, well, that I cannot reveal yet. You'll have to wait and find out. Let me check on that donation, see if it went through properly. Do. You shall pay for infringing our copyright. Copyright, which is literally just the name, the Spanish word for butterfly. I'm not seeing the donation coming through. I'll let you know. Maybe I logged into the wrong account. Let me check. Yeah, that should be the right one because it's connected to my YouTube channel. One moment. It's telling you no. Okay, that's alright. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in that. My Patreon is just like, I think it's just patreon.com/incros, I believe. Oh yeah, papillon, papillon, the French word for butterfly. I had considered, like, making her name something based off of that, but it just wasn't working. Oh, okay, that's working. I was able to get the subscriber count thing to event box thing to work. Nice. And then let me put in the reason I have to like re-put these is because I had to like re-download, completely reinstall Windows a couple months ago because there was like a corruption issue. But okay, good. That's working now too. Awesome. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I put in the stuff. Okay, cool. On to the... Oh wait, did I talk to Bradley again? Yeah, I need to return to Bradley real quick. And then we'll go back to the main quest. I'll kind of...
Found your order slips, Bradley.
Far out! Thanks, Mari.
So, are you going to tell me why you've written poetry on the backs of them?
I was hoping you wouldn't notice that. What are you doing reading other people's things?
I'm pretty supernaturally observant thanks to not being high on pollen 24/7. You should try it sometime.
Alright. The thing is, Heather and I really got off on the wrong current event when we first dated. I think she somehow got the idea that I didn't care about the passions she's invested the essence of her soul into. I wanted to prove to her that I took her poetry lessons to heart.
So, you're writing a poem to impress her?
I'm actually putting effort into it this time. But she's into the professional writing thing. And I really can't see her liking it much. I'll probably just throw 'em out.
As long as she knows that you're earnest, I'm sure she'll appreciate it. You should show her.
I don't know, man.
Oh, come on. If you think she hates your guts, how much worse could it get?
Oh, you really have a way with words, huh, Sunflower? Fine. But I better not catch you watching me read it to her.
Come on, I wouldn't do that.
Is the volume still too low, guys?
Doesn't look like there are any of those birds here. Guess I'll feed the glacids and move to the next dome. It looks like the Raronox Aurora lamp isn't working. They'll get restless without it on. I'll have to take care of that too.
I love these guys so much. The Raronox. They're some of my favorite animals in this. They're just funky ice creatures. Ice horses. The ice area is also one of my favorites. These rocks are from, I believe, the Unreal Asset Store. And then, like, these crystals I made, and then I made this crystal tree I made the animals, some of the textures. Ideally, we'd like to have 100% of the assets be stuff that our team has made, but with the time frame of the demo, it was kind of impossible. But, you know, I was able to make a bunch of unique assets that makes it more like part of the world. Like I made these like kind of salt crystal growths on the ground, and the crystals in the trees, and the pipes and all that, animals. Here's though the giant meatball to feed to the giant leviathans. Just a second. Now some people were struggling with how to do this jumping puzzle up here, this platforming section. So let me kind of show you the way I like to approach doing it. One thing is that using your 0G is like really important, and having the see there, because when I jumped and tried to use it, it hadn't restored yet, so you want to like stop jumping for just like a half a second to let it recharge. And then it's all about like timing of what part of your jump you hit the 0G on. So, for example, for these jumps, we don't necessarily need to use 0G, but for some of these, it's kind of safer if we do. So, when we jump, we want to hold down the 0G button when you're like at the very apex of the double jump, like when you're starting to do that flip. So, like if you do this flip and then immediately hold down 0G, that helps you get a nice boost up. And you don't necessarily need to hold it down the entire time, just enough to clear the edge of the platform. And you don't necessarily want, when it comes to like this part right here, you don't want to be on the very edge, because look, then your head will hit the side. So when it comes to platforming in this game, you gotta make sure that you kind of just jump up straight ahead and then go forward, like jump and then go forward, so that you don't hit the edge of the platform. So we're not even using like the entirety of the bar necessarily, just enough so that we know we've cleared it. Like that.
Hey, get away from them! Dawn, I found more of the mystery birds in the ice dome. Any idea what these things are yet?
I haven't had time to check. They appear similar to some fauna from Felmoria, but I can't be certain. I sent Heather and Bradley to check on the lava dome, so go ahead and check on the space dome. If the birds burrow up there, that could cause serious damage.
Alright, I'm on it.
Oh yeah, Fabulous Rice says they had the hardest time with this part. The first time, it felt so awesome when I finished. I was so relieved. Yeah, I watched like a bunch of people like stream this, because we as part of the marketing for the Kickstarter, we did this thing with gosh, I forget the name. Keys. It was something with keys, game keys, where they would hand out demo keys to YouTubers. We did like a thing and handed out demos and to let people know that it was out to a bunch of streamers and YouTubers, and they would like make some videos and streams about the demo. And I was noticing it was basically like a really good way to figure out what's wrong with the demo and what needs to change to make it like way better. And one of the things we're definitely noticing is that people were having a really hard time understanding how the zero G needs to work and like needs to be timed. Like I was noticing, for example, people would jump and then let themselves fall a little bit and then do zero G, which makes it so that you barely rise at all, if any, or you just slowly go to the ground instead. Because the zero G locks you in whatever direction and momentum you're currently in when you press it. So you have to press it like when you have momentum going up, or else it won't work well. So if you press it like here, it's just going to make you slowly go down. And we also had this feature where if you dash and then do it, it'll zoom you forward, which will give you tons of forward momentum, but because it's fast, you have to be careful to hit your targets on time and let go of it at the right time so that you don't overshoot where you're going. Oh man, I would be extremely grateful
Bonnie,
if
did you get my text?
Jacksepticeye or Markiplier played it, but it's just impossible. They're too big. I tried emailing
Those
them,
research
but
skills will come in handy.
like,
Oh, of course.
yeah, they're not gonna be able, they're not gonna play it unless like
Thanks, Bonnie.
by some miracle, because they just get too many emails. I understand completely from their perspective. They probably get like hundreds of emails all the time from developers asking them to play their demos and their games. They just can't do it all, and I highly doubt that mine would stand out from the pack, especially with how unfinished it currently is. So, you know, I would be extremely happy if they played it, but it's highly unlikely with how many people are wanting their attention. Oh yeah, thank you so much for recording that. That's so cool. I am so happy to all the people that gave it a shot. You know, some people liked it, some people didn't as much, but I think the critiques I got were super valuable because it made me again realize how much better this can be and how much learning I need to do, especially when it comes to game design and making things more fun. So yeah, the critique was really good, honestly. I mean, of course it hurts sometimes, but that's how it's gotta be to get better at what we're doing. And I want this game to be as good as it can be and have really fun movement. Speaking of frustration, a lot of people were frustrated with the Space Dome part. Maybe because I didn't explain it as well enough as it should be. Well, part of it was because of a coding issue, and like a thing that just wasn't working without heavy reworks. And another part was just finicky physics. So what we have to do in this dome is get these food barrels of mites into these receptacles right here. However, an issue that a lot of people were facing is, number one, they weren't using control to aim, because if you don't aim and you try to shoot it, it'll just like float up around. You have to aim in order to get it to go forward. Another issue, so a lot of people didn't realize how important aiming was for this section, which is something we need to work on making clearer. And so there's a lot of like tutorial stuff we're going to be reworking at some point, like we're planning out for once we get funding. And then another issue people were having is they were trying to carry the containers and do this at the same time, but because of a coding issue that we just really did not have the time frame to resolve, we just couldn't have two tools active at the same time, which meant that while the tutorial was talking about how you should use these to get around, the actual objective of the map is to carry those things around. So it's like two different things that kind of conflict with one another of what the player needs to do. And that's just something, again, we're gonna completely kind of figure out how to make better and clear. Specifically, we're gonna try to get that issue worked out and have it so that you can carry these at the same time. So kind of way to try to mitigate this was I thought, oh, let's have these like boxes of gravity here so that if they need to try to, because it's pretty far to aim and shoot it from here up there, and if you can't use the orange globs, then how do you get it up there easily? So we decided we would try to have this thing where you can throw them into these boxes. Oops, just a second. Where you can throw them into these boxes, and then that way you can use those to get the object higher. But for now, we'll go ahead and put this one here. You can also just like jump up like as soon as you exit that in order to get the momentum to go up. This is also a way of doing it.
Marty, I found out what these creatures are.
Perfect. Lay it on me.
They're called netaracs, native to Amuna Femoria. They're known for being highly aggressive and rather mean, really. They burrow up from the ground to surprise their prey.
Yeah, I've seen that. How could they have gotten on Flutica?
Girl, sorry. I wish I could tell you. Oh, also, Marty, be careful. The picture you sent me is a smaller specimen, but apparently netaracs are commanded by a leader who is much bigger than the rest.
Just how much bigger are we talking? Sorry, Bonnie. Aunt Dawn is calling.
Okay, but...
Hey, Aunt Dawn.
Maddie, I need you to go to the lava dome right now. I sent Heather and Bradley in, but neither of them are responding to my calls. I'm trying to handle the birds in the ice dome and can't check on them.
Stars, what's going on?
Likely nothing good. I'm going to notify animal control. You check on the lava dome. And Maddie, be careful. Don't put yourself in any unnecessary danger.
I won't. Promise.
Oh, here's a better look at the asteroids, which are one of the creatures in here. They attach to asteroids and such. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't really give you an answer on PC specs at the moment. I literally don't remember. There are too many numbers. I can't think when it comes to remembering numbers. Yeah, there's nothing really on the Steam page about the specs because we just don't know. We would have to like get some testing done to get the specs, but we can't at the moment. Have you ever thought of making a webcomic to tie into the game? Yes, I had started on one, a Kitty Roo backstory webcomic on Webtoon. However, it was like in 2020, and with COVID and everything, and, oh crap, maybe I should have said that. Maybe YouTube will demonetize me now. Anyway, whatever. With disease going around, and, just me, like, finishing up school that year, and just, it was way too much work, unfortunately, to do that webcomic. I'm just someone who can't really, I'm not really great when it comes to making comics because I'm able to, like, get creatively tired so quickly with all the drawing that needs to be done in the backgrounds. And also, whenever I do webcomics, I start getting, like, carpal tunnel flare-up. So, it's just, like, it's very hard for me to do comics. 3D stuff and animation is much easier for me because it's not as hard on my wrist. with all the variety of stuff to do on a game. Like when it comes to comic, it's like all you're doing is writing, drawing constantly. But with game dev, you're doing a whole variety of stuff that's easier on my mind and my body. As I am someone that kind of needs variety of what I work on. Kind of dodged the recent webtoon drama, huh? Oh my gosh, was there recent webtoon drama? I'm afraid I don't know about that. If it's something that is okay to put in chat, I'd be interested to learn about it. Or if there's like if you could like recommend me a video, because I'm interested. But yeah, that's why I'm making that Kitty Roo webcomic story instead into a visual novel, because that is something that I am much more comfortable working on. And that I can finish. I can't finish webcomics, I just can't. It's really hard for me. Fabulous Rice says, can I just say I love all the species and place names in this? They're so fun to say. Thank you! I really appreciate that. Oh, and yes, there's a secret here I wanted to show you guys. Some people have found it, some people have not, but let me show you the little secret. So if you go through all of these hoops, then you will get a surprise. Watch this. So go through the ones that are red in order. Oops, missed that one. It was an advertisement calling webcomics as something like a side gig. Oh, yeah. I can see why people would be frustrated with that, considering how much freaking work webcomic artists already put in. It is not something that can be a side gig very easily at all. I massively respect webcomic artists, because after trying one of my own, yeah, it's a lot of work. My goodness. And here you go! Bonus thread. Oof, side gig. Yeah, I can see why people would be angry about that. Because there's already like a stigma of, you know, artists not making money or not getting what they deserve for the amount of time and work they do. So yeah, that does seem a bit disrespectful, especially with how little webtoon artists can make, or how hard it is to make money from webtoon in the first place. How hard it is to get like picked up by them. Oof, it's the idea of webtoon is cool, and there's a lot of good that comes out of it, but like it's also just like so hard and just like a vacuum of time. Of unpaid work in order to get a job, quote unquote, there. But at the same time, I sympathize with the company in that it's not like they can pay everyone that tries to make a webcomic on there. That's just not feasible. So, I can understand it from both ways, but yeah. Thank you, Wanderer. I appreciate that.
Maddie! Heather? Bradley? What?
We were pulled under quick.
You see the way her head twitched there? We have not been able to figure out why that's happening. It's just, it keeps happening every time, and it's just a glitch, yeah. Funny glitch. There's a glitch with his animation of spinning the rocks. Oh, what? Oops. Yes. I'm someone... Yeah, it is very, very, very hard to get noticed on there. Oh, the music is done by my sister, Color Planet Crazy, who also voiced Heather. She did an amazing job on the music. Yeah, Eileen, it's I definitely admire the work people like you put in. A lot of people were struggling with understanding this part too, so this is also something we'll probably be altering. But yeah, that's kind of the way to do it, is time it so he goes under the... Also notice the animation glitch there where his beaks on the side like clip into his head for some reason. We have not been able to figure out why that happens, but it more just probably has to do with importing the animations from Blender into Unreal. When I tried to do squash and stretch stuff in Blender, it doesn't work well and causes glitches in Unreal. So that's something we definitely had to... there was a lot of issues when it came to importing animations into Unreal from Blender, but we've kind of come up with a better way of handling it, thankfully. Also, the hearts like go invisible for some reason. That's another glitch that has happened quite a few times.
You guys okay?
Hello, Todd.
I'm a little more than dazed, but I'll manage.
The do no harm pledge doesn't apply to animal care workers, right?
I'd rather not have done that, but it was him or you guys. Bradley's being a blockhead. Thank you, Muddy.
Yeah, that was far out.
That must have been what Bonnie was talking about. How did these things get here? It practically spewed bad mojo. Probably best for it to no longer be clogging the pathways of creative energy in the rescue center.
Yeah, man, it's totally bogus vibes.
Well, I'm just glad you two are okay.
You should both get a checkup right away, just to be safe. And wash off all that dirt, too.
Bradley looks hardly different, though.
Well, the planet's natural gifts shall not be squandered, nor mocked.
You should return the planet's gifts to her, then.
Alas, her dirt does not come with a gift receipt.
Ugh.
Oh, thank goodness I got through. Are you all right, Maddie? What happened?
A lot. Just a minute. I'll be there in a sec.
I see. It sounds like we had a very close call.
And how?
I've notified Animal Control. They should be on their way. In the meantime, you two need to get yourselves checked into medical right away. Who knows what sort of diseases those creatures might have brought with them.
Well, this has turned into quite the tumultuous day.
You should have hightailed it out of the dome, like I told you.
I shudder at the thought of leaving you defenseless against such a beast.
Well, better for it to have a mouthful of me. As long as, you're all safe, like.
Your flattery is misspent.
But, nah, like, I really mean it.
Oh.
Mariposa Connors. I thought I told you to get out at the first sign of danger.
I'm sorry.
You should have called me immediately. You could have been killed. Then what am I supposed to tell your parents?
Mom and Dad would have done exactly what I did.
Because they have experience. They have the skill to deal with situations like that, not just recklessness.
But I took care of it. Bradley and Heather could have died. You think I should have done nothing?
It's not what you did, it's how you did it. Or would you rather end up like your grandfather?
Grandpa was a brave man. He was a hero.
Leaving two girls alone without a father to fight some godforsaken war is hardly a heroic deed. You must learn to let others take care of things they can handle better.
It's because I don't have wings, right?
Is that what this is about? You haven't had your metamorphosis, so you're trying to prove yourself? I know you're not a child, Maddie.
What am I supposed to think when you let the volunteers take on all the dangerous work?
Know full well that you're capable. Just like there are some things others do better. There's plenty of things you're much more suited for. For example, am I understood?
Yes, ma'am.
I suppose I can't help the apple falling so close to the tree. I need you to follow the rules as long as you're working here. But knowing you, I can't imagine you'll be staying on this ranch forever. So, knowing how to think and take action on your own is important too. I suppose you didn't have much time to react, and you did save Bradley and Heather's lives. Your parents would be proud of you. For that, I'm sure.
Thanks, Aunt Dawn.
Now back to work with you. The critters in the lava dome still need to be taken care of. Beyond that, if you're done for the day, you can rest up in your van.
Yes, ma'am.
Marty, is everything okay?
Things are groovy, Bonnie. I had to, take out the giant netherrack, but it turned out okay.
Oh my goodness gracious. You aren't hurt?
Nothing that I can feel while on this adrenaline high, anyway.
Huh, what a relief. Anyway, I went looking through a few more articles on the creatures, and it turns out that when their leaders are out of the picture, they become less aggressive towards other animals. I guess they must be confused.
Gotcha. Thanks, Bonnie. Call you back later.
All right. Zodia says sometimes with the speed of the turning it's pretty jarring. Yeah, the camera, that's because my sensitivity is high. You can change the sensitivity while playing your, so that hopefully shouldn't be a problem. I just like to have it high. That's just my preference. Thank you, Wanderer. Yeah, my sister did a really good job at incorporating the themes and vibes of the world into the music. Do you think this would make an awesome TV show or movie? Yeah, well, the story is tailored to be a game. I think if it was a TV show, that'd be pretty cool. And a movie could probably work too. Except then we wouldn't be able to have the time to really explore all the planets like you can in a video game. Alright, and now it's time for us to rest in the van. Oh, well actually, let's see. We got 2 fabrics, 1. Let's get some select supplies so we can get an alternate outfit. Alright, and now, let's see, where were some of the others? Oh yes, over here. Now this is where the real platforming challenge is. How did I get back up there again? Ah, that's right. Here we go. There's another secret for you. Later, warrior. Thanks for coming out. And here's another thread. As for the fabric, hello Jude. Welcome, welcome. Yes, you will probably get more health bars and 0G bars as time goes on in the game. You unlock stuff. Alright. Now we just need 6 more flutter stars. And we'll be able to get both outfits. Yeah, yes, perfect. Alright, perfect. Now let's buy those outfits. Oh, Taylor, in my first live stream of this game, the Kickstarter live stream, launch stream, I talk a lot more about like the whole process of the design inspiration for the game. It's too much for me to like talk about again. But feel free to check that out.
Delivery!
That voice line right there, that's done by our programmer, Caius. Alright. That's a glitch. That's probably because I bought them both at the same time. Let's see if it worked. Oh, yep, we did get both of them. Nice. Perfect. This is definitely my favorite one. I love it. This is kind of like her canon outfit, like casual outfit. When she's not working, she usually wears this outfit. So like, yeah. That other outfit only she really wears while she's working. This one she wears most of the other time when she's like hanging out with friends and going shopping and stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and finish. I know some people had questions like, why is there a Bible there? Isn't she like an alien? And yeah, her she's a Christian. Her dad is from Earth, and so yeah, he's also religious as well as her. So that's why there's like a little Bible on her bed, because I thought it'd be cute for like a little character backstory building.
Mom, Dad!
Yeah, I would probably wear it too without the midriff.
Hello, Monty.
Some
Hey there,
people are
Sunflower.
comfortable wearing
Coming in
midriffs.
okay?
I personally
I
am
can
not,
hear you
but
fine.
Mariposa is.
Can't see your live holo, though.
We're too far out to be sending holoreel feeds. Command's also been cracking down on outside communication in general.
There's a theory going around that the monsters can detect radio signals. I think it's bull, though. Probably just an excuse to make the Greens afraid to sneak a call to their moms and leak info.
Isn't that what you're doing now?
Not as long as you don't tell your grandmother.
And I talked about her brother a bit earlier, and this is a little more info
I was
about him.
actually wanting to know if you guys have heard anything from Andrew. He hasn't responded to my messages.
He got sent to a different front. He's a greenhorn, so they might be restricting his message access.
Well, with your blood in him, I'm sure he'll prove himself quickly.
He inherited a passion for annihilating star killers, that's for sure.
I hope he's alright.
Fun fact, the voice actress who does Mariposa's mom is actually the wife of the voice actor for Bradley. So just a little fun backstory. We were actually able to record with both of them like pretty quickly after one another, which was pretty cool, and they're very nice. More if you're interested in checking them out, feel free to look at the credits. I believe they're like they like share like a little company for their voice acting. I think it's like the Toll Booth 2 or something. Let me see if I can find it on Instagram real quick. Who's your guys' favorite character in the demo? By the way.
Well, things have been going relatively well here.
Really? Tell us what you've been up to.
Don hasn't been running you ragged, I hope.
No, things are good here. Lots of work, but it's worth it to keep the animals safe and happy.
Well, have you decided whether you're going back to school yet?
Not yet. I'm not really too sure what to do. I feel like I might want to join one of those off-world animal rescue places. One of the big ones where I'll get to go off-planet all the time.
Is Floodica not doing it for you?
Oh no, I like it here. But I rarely go anywhere besides the moons. Our off-world native animals are brought to us by volunteers in animal control. Mostly lost pets or those that were smuggled in.
Well, if you do want to go back and become a vet, I'm sure you'll be able to do it.
With all those clubs you joined as a kid, I'm sure you can handle a master's degree.
Are you doing all right? I know you can't talk much about the war, but...
Well, jet lag over here. Just about had his leg torn off by a razor neck.
Recovery's going great, might I add. Barely feel the pain anymore.
Wait, what? You sure you're okay, Dad?
Yeah, I'm fine. A couple of more scars won't hurt me.
They're not sending you back to Floodica for treatment?
No can do. We're months out by this point. Only a fully charged warp gate would get us back in a timely manner. And those are restricted to everything but returning resupply ships or folks ending their tours.
We actually have clearance codes for a military warp gate near Floodica since we were scheduled to leave last month. Don't know if they've changed them, though.
In any case, there's so much stuff being shipped out here that we already have a fully staffed high-class hospital. No need to leave the front, unfortunately.
Oh, I see.
We're sorry, Sunflower. We'll find a way back home soon.
Another fun behind-the-scenes fact. The reason why there's no video feed of these two is because I did not have time to make models of them and animate them for the hologram call. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll just write it so that they can't do it for military secrets reasons and far out. Like, they don't have a broadband because they're really far out. That'll be the excuse. And you know what? I think it makes sense. You know? Sometimes we just have to make sure things are written so that I don't have to make two character models that I just didn't have the time to make. But someday they'll get models. Because I do plan for them to be a good part of the main story. So they won't be like super main characters, but they will have a part to play in the story where they will need to have models. Let's see. Let me look back at some of the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the outfit. I love it too. The Bible just made me so happy. I can't even think of another Christian game, at least none that I've played. I know. It's definitely like very rare to have like a character's religious beliefs talked about in a game, mostly because for understandable reasons they don't want to make it like alienating to people who have different religious beliefs, which is super understandable. I can definitely understand why like they might not want to be offensive to certain peoples or make them feel uncomfortable or that kind of thing. Or even when BioShock Infinite was addressing like religious cultism, they actually had to be careful not to make it seem like it was like trying to insult like Christianity or something, because it does kind of feel like that when you play BioShock Infinite, but that wasn't necessarily the intention. The real like message behind Infinite was more about like religious zealotry and cultism type of stuff. And one of the reasons they were able to help make that clear is because the fact that in Infinite they don't really focus on God very much. The people in that game pretty much just worship their prophet. So while it seems like Christianity at first, it's actually a kind of a cultish offshoot of Christianity that is like trying to pretend to be. BioShock Infinite is an interesting game. It certainly has some flaws, but I think it's definitely close to my heart. It's a very cool game. One of the things that is cool about BioShock Infinite 2, as well as BioShock the original, is the way they both mirror one another in different ways. The first BioShock is like extreme, I guess you could say, not necessarily extreme atheism, but like extreme worship of man. Kind of the whole, this is like a completely different conversation, but BioShock is very interesting to me, the philosophy of it, of the first BioShock, again, being like worship of man, worship of like how no gods, no kings, only man, worship of Ayn Rand's philosophy gone wrong. And then the BioShock Infinite is like a critique kind of the other way around of like religious zealotry and that kind of thing. So it's interesting how both of the games kind of like critique how both of these different ideologies can go too far. It's pretty cool. But going back to just Christian characters in games, I agree, I can't really think of many. And a lot of times when you have certain religious characters, they might be zealots or just like kind of crazy. So sometimes that can feel a little sad, like when we get religious representation, it's might be just like a cult or like a crazy person who's like really mean. But I believe there are a few characters that are more positive representations. The first one I think of is that character from Fallout New Vegas who got burned by Caesar's Legion. I unfortunately haven't played enough in New Vegas yet to get to him, but from what I know of him, he seems like a really interesting and cool Christian character. But again, I don't know enough about him. And the other one I can think of is like Ashley from Mass Effect. And depending on the person, who they might like her or dislike her because she has some kind of xenophobic views. But the way her character evolves and she's able to appreciate those around her and like get over some of her xenophobia in terms of some of the aliens is a cool arc. Unfortunately, I never really got to experience it because I've always picked Kaden, but like learning about how she changes and some of her views change over the course of the game is really interesting. And also, but her conversation in Mass Effect 1 that you have with Shepard is about religion is really nice. It's just it feels very real and very nice. Like, hey, it's just cool, and I like that you as Shepard are able to like have the option to answer whether or not your Shepard is religious too. So yeah, it's cool. I like in role playing where they allow you to have that freedom of whether or not to. Cyberpunk 2077 also did a very interesting quest regarding religion. It's too long for me to talk about though, so I'll just I'll just stop the conversation here, just saying that yeah, Mariposa is not going to be like a super religious game or anything, but there like there will be acknowledgement that you know she's religious, but it's not going to be like the only thing talked about, and it's not going to be like the whole game is about like converting you or something. No. It's just a part of her character, and there will be, you know, some themes that are inspired by the fact that I'm Christian, but it's something where it's a game that I want to be able to appeal to anybody that wants to play it, no matter what their beliefs are. Anyway, a very, very, like, complicated and deep topic. I hope that it was able to kind of communicate a bit. Ink, you always struck me for an atheist. Do you object to the non-religious? Oh, no. That's not something I'm gonna really talk about. But yes, I am Christian, and I have a great love for my religion, and yeah, that's all that I really want to talk about, because again, it's a very like complicated topic. But I don't like. No, I don't hate people for not being religious. That's not something that I believe in at all. My game is for anybody who wants to play it, and yeah, anybody that would like to have fun and experience a fun fantasy sci-fi world. There's not gonna be like atheist bashing or something. No. I'm glad you guys like Bradley.
Have those things eaten any more stars?
We can't really talk about the cabin right now. Sorry, Sunflower.
No, I get it.
Marty? I have the Floodica newsfeed up, and it says there's some kind of commotion over the planet.
Well, Aunt Dawn called animal control, so it's probably that.
No, it's saying the magways are all clogged up. Green Star and Supergiant mega cruisers en route. Are you seeing that, Marty?
Huh? I heard that stuff's been going down in the upper atmosphere, but I don't... What the...
What on earth was that?
Marty? Are you there? Marty?
And that's what we have so far. I hope that was fun for you guys. I was able to share a lot more behind the scenes stuff in this stream than I was able to before, so yahoo! Someone asked, like, if I'd be able to play more than we have in the demo, and no, because nothing beyond what we have in the demo is playable, or able to be put in the demo, because we were able to develop the demo with the budget we had, and now, while we wait for potential funding, we aren't really able to develop any more quite yet. I'm doing like concept art and stuff and writing and planning for the full story. But as for like playable stuff, we just don't have that right now. So I guess that's probably about it. Does anybody have any other questions before we wrap up? Yep, this is my sister singing. Definitely check out her YouTube channel. It's called Color Planet Crazy. And she has a bunch of other songs on there that are original to her. Definitely check her out, give her a sub. Again, her YouTube channel is called Color Planet Crazy. Color, like the colors, the colors of the sky, planet, and crazy. I forget what platform are you hoping to have this game on. I'm assuming the demo is on Steam. Yep, the demo is on Steam, and we hope to also have it on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Hopefully. People have been asking for it on the Switch, but I don't know if that will be possible. Honestly, by the time we make this game, there'll probably be like a new Nintendo console. So, we might go for that. Yes, I believe that's the one, Todd. Thank you. Let me check. Yep, that's her. Todd put the link in the chat. Thanks, Todd. Can you give feedback on your art pieces? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Thanks, Fabulous. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. When you post art pieces on YouTube, I'd like to hear your voice on those shorts. Wish I could, but those are shorts I make for Instagram, and then I like either remake or repost them here. So I usually don't need to add voiceover to those because they're more about the music and the visuals, but I might start, doing some shorts explaining more backstory stuff. And as it is, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like social media anymore very much. I kind of try to stop scrolling Twitter and stuff because it just kind of makes me depressed. So, but at the same time, I kind of have to do social media to promote the game. So I'm kind of in this weird limbo of hating being on social media, kind of wanting to delete my Twitter, but also kind of needing to promote stuff. But even then, nothing on my Twitter is even taking off at all. I've stayed stagnant for 2 years. So I'm wondering if I should just delete my Twitter, if I should even bother and just focus on YouTube and Instagram. I don't know. My YouTube channel is also extremely stagnant right now, and my Instagram actually. I've kind of been stuck, and I'm losing subscribers because of not doing MLP content anymore. So I don't know. I'm still have to figure out how to go forward. What were some of the games that inspired the design process for Mariposa? Ooh. Definitely Psychonauts, because Psychonauts is the only game I can think of that is a story-based platformer, and that's what I want Mariposa to be. Also, Sly Cooper was inspiration as well, because they have a good bit of story with good platforming elements. And then Hat in Time, for sure. In terms of gameplay, cute art style, etc. Funny characters. And then I would say, not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of other stuff, Mass Effect series was definitely a big inspiration. How her Mariposa's mom is kind of based on female shepherd and her dad on male shepherd a bit. Just kind of their role in the military type of thing. And just the idea of the aliens living together and kind of relations between different planets and cool stuff, cool sci-fi stuff. Oh, I've made a commercial and I posted it everywhere. Unfortunately, I even made it to an advertisement on Instagram and YouTube, but it didn't get much traction, unfortunately. How long are you hoping the game to be? 30 hours? I would say about 15 hours for the main story. But like, if you actually like do the side quest and do all the exploration, it might be like up to 30 hours. That's kind of the idea anyway. What is your favorite creature? I love the mushroom one. I would say the Flitei are my favorite just because I love cats so much. That's why the Flitei is like Mariposa's kind of like iconic animal. But I love all of them for different reasons. The mushroom ones are just so fun to me because I feel like they're the most unique. I love the lava dogs because I tried to give them like a unique body shape that wasn't quite wolf, like it was kind of alien body shape, but still wolf recognizable as one. I love the asteroids because again they're like super alien. The Feathers are just cute. I love ferrets. I love parrots. Putting them together to the Feather, it's fun. They're little wiggly boys. And the Shrubbery, of course, are classic. One of the first creatures I modeled for the game. That's how I found you, actually, through Psychonauts and Hat Time Paint stuff. Oh, I'm so glad. I loved making those comics so much. Though having Raz and Hat Kid interact is just so fun to write. I'm so like happy and grateful how popular those comics got. I still get like people reblogging it on Tumblr and Twitter. I really like how your art style has evolved compared to what you did 9 years ago. Yes, I've been following you since 2013. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm so happy that my art has been able to evolve because there was so much stuff and stories I wanted to make when I was younger that I just couldn't do because my art level was just not at I just didn't have the ability to create what was in my head as a story. But now I'm finally getting to that point where I can actually express what I'm trying to in my stories. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out to the stream. This was really fun. I said I would tell you guys about the couple that did voice acting in this game for Bradley and Dusk. That is Jay and Meg, and their Instagram is the Booth of Us VO. So yeah, both of them worked on the game, and they've also been in other games like Horizon Zero Dawn and then Lost Ark. So if you want to give them a follow on Instagram, they are the Booth of Us VO on Instagram. And I guess that's about it. Oh, well, actually, I've gotten some more questions here that are pretty good. So just a sec, let me continue here a bit. Have you ever thought or read about writing short stories about this game, though you don't have to worry about drawing anything? Yes, actually, I have been thinking about doing short stories for these characters. That's something I'm still gonna have to develop on figuring out how to release, but yeah. What were some of the inspirations for the design of Mariposa herself? Pretty much just like 70s art of, you know, like the classic 70s outfit with blonde hair and like summer kind of California summer girl type of looks, sporty summer California. That's kind of the ideas that were going 70s, kind of the ideas that were going in my head when designing her. Like I said, originally she was human. I wanted to go for this kind of cutesy look. And then as time has gone on, she changed to become a cute alien girl. And I wanted to have like flowery, naturey colors of pink and green and blue, like powder flower colors. And one of the reasons she's also pink is because I had it so like, since her dad is a white human and her mom is purple, when you have like the pink skin mixed with the purple skin, it kind of would make like this pink, like this brighter pink, purplish pink. So I thought that would make sense to for her parents. Oh, thank you again, Todd, for getting the link for me. All right. Thanks so much for coming, guys.